Welcome to this week's edition of Mainely Motorsports.
Can you and I be friends? Here we go.
This is Mainly Motorsports, a comprehensive rundown of all the local racing action with your host, Steve Perry.
People tell me when they see me, you're the guy, the mainly guy.
Highlights, in-depth interviews, and stories behind the action. Add to the show at 207-324-1220. Live on the radio, live video stream, and on demand as a podcast.
My goal in life is to have an empire, my mainly empire.
Now, let's get local. Mainly Motorsports.
Yes, it is. We're back, and I wish they could have seen that, huh, before. She was cleaning my glasses, fixing everything.
You were on camera, bro.
Oh, I was?
Oh, great.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, how long before?
Yeah.
Oh, no, but we're here, and now the...
You both shut right up.
No.
Well, because I don't know how he sees out of them. They've got, it's like a 2-year-old when they put on their little sunglasses. He's got fingerprints everywhere.
I think that's a pretty universal woman thing.
This goes right back to...
What?
It goes right back to Steve can take care of himself.
Yeah.
Well, he can.
Yeah, he can.
Obviously,
Well,
he can.
obviously he's made it to this point in life, so he can take care of himself. He might need you to take him to the next level.
Well,
the
maybe
things
that's
you
what
do
it
for
is.
him are super nice and very appreciated, Deb.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
No.
have one of those at home.
Yes, you do.
But,
well,
you know-
ask him about the pillows on the bed. Well,
Oh,
he's the last person to get
been
out
a
of
hot
it.
topic.
Oh, dear.
Okay, what's
I want to talk to you about...
You have pillows on your bed?
Yeah, I do.
the ones
Like,
I
do you
sleep
make
with?
your bed?
About
Straighten it up.
50-50. I leave at 3:30 in the morning.
It doesn't matter. You got to come home.
No, it does.
No, it doesn't.
So this is
Like,
what I came home the other night. We came home, and I said, do you want to go on vacation? She goes, we're going.
Do
I said,
you
"Yeah,
want to
but
be friends?
Do you want to? Do
Where
you
are
just
we
want to
going
go
right
somewhere
now?
for a week? Like
Right.
anywhere? Just you go.
Go
She
with
goes,
your girlfriends. Go.
Yes, find somebody and I'll pay for it. She goes, what do you mean? I go, I just want to be alone for a week.
You said I want the bed to myself for a week.
right?
You're a king.
Yeah.
And I said, well, we have a second bedroom, and actually that bed's more comfortable. And, if we've gotten to that stage in life, dear.
No, there's nothing wrong with a sleep divorce.
No,
Exactly.
I don't want to sleep divorce.
Well, no,
I
that's
just
not what he wants.
Right.
I just don't want to come home.
You just want to sleep side piece?
No.
Go sleep in your own room whenever you want?
No, he doesn't want to come
home and have to remove 7 or 8 or 9 pillows
There's-
to get into
there's-
bed.
One,
I just want to get into bed.
There's 6 pillows.
And then when you get out in the morning and you go work, and then the next thing you do, the next time you walk into that room, you leave it, and the next time you walk in and you
It's
get back into
beautiful.
bed, why do you have to undo everything to get back into what you just left? Why do you put it all back together?
He gets mad because, like, on days like today, we leave 6 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. We'll
The
get
next
home
time
at
I
8
walk
o'clock
in there, it'll be 11 tonight to go back in. Why do I got to
Why-
undo it
why-
again? Why does she have to put it back together? Nobody cares. Nobody's going in there. Leave it alone.
Well, she cares.
I
Who
care.
cares? Why
I
does she
like
have
the
to-
way-
I have an answer to this.
Go ahead.
Maybe if you had some quality flour from Rejuvenate Canico, one of our show sponsors,
Which is sponsoring
you would
our
sleep
show
without worrying
today.
about pillows.
Yes.
like, no, just leave it alone.
No,
Get rid no.
Maybe you can get Dow Excavation to come with a dump truck and haul away your pillows.
Pillows.
Perfect.
How many
Perfect.
throw pillows do you have? And why
Right,
do they
yeah,
call
well,
wait?
it also depends on the season because I change my bedding according to the season.
Right, so with pumpkins.
So right now we have like a fall quilt. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So
Five.
she wonders why
5
when
pillows.
it comes to birthdays and Christmas, and the first thing
just her bedding.
to the season.
Yeah, that's tough.
So
That's not strange.
so people
No, it's
wonder
not.
why when I say that for Christmas I'm getting her counseling
Right.
Well, we won't talk about the 3 new Christmas trees that just showed up.
just showed up. Yeah, no.
I've had the same bedding since Obama was it?
Oh no,
No. Since Trump's first term. Dead serious.
No.
I bought new pillows though to jazz it up,
Oh, good.
but the pillows only come out
So-
when Heather's over, so it looks like.
So
I'm
you want to
kind
see
care,
you want
right.
to see the freak show. You want to see
Wait
the
till
night I
Christmas.
came up to go to bed and there was no bed on the bed because
Well,
she
we went away.
We went away and
And
she
I
went to
did-
wash the stuff
I lo-
and forgot to like.
No, I did not forget. Stop.
That's what the other bed's for.
No.
Yeah,
So
Steve, where's
no,
your mistress
I
bed?
didn't forget. I didn't forget. You decided to leave 2 hours early. I had the stuff in the washer. You didn't have enough time to dry and remake the bed.
Oh, yeah, you wanna
heaven
talk
forbid,
about a freak show.
Him helping me make the bed is putting pillowcases on, and he struggles.
Yeah, like
So anyway,
This portion of Mainly Motorsports is again brought to you by Rejuvenate Canico. If you need to chill out, go see them in Parsonsfield. If you need a job to get away from your significant other all day,
Call Matt.
Call Matt. Drive his big dump truck. You'll be home every night.
And to a well-made bed.
But thanks to those guys for making this whole thing
Really
happen. We got a
appreciate
nice
them.
show for you tonight. We're not talking pillows. It's not pillow talk, but it's going to be race talk. It's going to be super modified talk with Bobby Timmons joining the show. Champions only. You know, we've had a ring of champions and people who have won big races on the program. He's going to join right around 6:20, so looking forward to that. We have a huge weekend of racing at Lee USA Speedway to talk about with Oktoberfest. Can't believe it's October for Oktoberfest. I'm just getting that right out of the way. And for you guys to join the show, too, there's going to be some space for that if you want. The number you'll need is 207-324-1220. But coming off a great weekend of racing, I'm not saying few and far between, but they're getting down to where we're going to be talking about racing that happened over the weekend every single week.
Yeah, no, and obviously the Strictly Shootout was the big deal up to Wiscasset. They crowned some champions, and Landon Tapley, I'm not saying wasn't one of the favorites, but at the end of the day,
he's had good. He's had a good car all year.
Good car, you know. And after the first half lap, you know, that
changed the outlook of the race.
Outlook, and
but it doesn't mean he wouldn't have won.
No,
we're just saying
absolutely.
that, like, it took out some pretty
Was
good.
it like the
pretty heavy
beginning?
hitters.
Was it like the beginning of the old Busch race at Daytona, where like 22 cars would always crash on the first two laps?
Yeah. No, but
But they had a big wreck on the first lap.
It was,
big wreck. And when a wreck happens up front, I don't care where you're at and what track you're
takes
at.
out a lot.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're gonna guys that shouldn't be in it are in it, and it just
was
you know.
not
So the
pretty.
first
it must have been a thing this weekend because they did the same thing in this the fall final at Stafford.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness!
That
yeah.
was a big one.
But you know, congratulations to Landon Tapley, big deal winning a race like that. Those are the
Absolutely.
races you want to win.
It's cool.
You know, Tiger Colby picked up the late model win. Daniel Harding, the championship. Jack Dumas with the Pro 4 win. Kerrigan Glazier picked up the win in the Roadrunners, and then Kyle Inman, second consecutive championship up there. And then Adam Chadbourne picked up the win in the Modifieds. And then Reed Reno, four-time, four-generation champion in the, what?
Come on.
He's doing it. Let him go.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
We're going on
Fourth
vacation
generation
together.
champion for the Reno family. And anybody that watched that race right from the beginning, it was pretty entertaining because Reed was in control of the championship, but Chadbourne knew what he had to do to try to win the championship and was trying to do it
And he
right
was
from the
doing it.
outset.
Yeah.
Nice.
By
Keeping
Reed at bay by running a controlled race
Yeah.
at running at the pace that he needed to run and keeping the field behind him, you know. And
So Adam, there's no chance that Adam and Reed, say if Adam owned Reed's car, he would take him out if he needed to make the next round.
Oh,
we'd see
like
on
we saw.
big NASCAR Sunday.
So, how did he do this?
so he got to the outside row right off the bat and
he
ran
stayed there.
the pace that he needed to run at
With
the
the-
speed
with
with
the
the guy
speed,
at the
yeah.
inside of the front row. So Reed was blocked in, couldn't go anywhere. So he needed to beat Reed by two spots, and Reed was stuck. So if he could have held the race go green to checkered and have Reed finish third and he won, he would have been the champion. So
that reminds me of just kind of an unlocked memory, the 2001 Pro Series at Beach Ridge.
He knows the
Yeah.
year.
And Greg
When
knows
Greg
the reference.
starts laughing.
Greg,
Yeah.
So let's talk.
Oh,
Let's
jeez.
let's touch on the Adam Chadbourne thing a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna give you my opinion on something like that. He did nothing wrong.
No.
no.
Is it? He did nothing wrong.
Ethical?
He's doing what he has to do to control his race. If he crashed him to manipulate how it come out, then different story. But he didn't. He just
Raced
ran
his
outside
race.
of the other guy. Does it stink?
Fair enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
if he slows down so much that he keeps the guy on the inside of him, maybe Reed sets it out 3 wide and can get it done by him or something. You know, that he's not taking it away from him. he's trying to give it to himself.
He's trying to win himself.
That race, what I was explaining to our competitors on Sunday, the championship isn't won or lost the last day.
No.
You
got to get yourself
it's
there.
It's decided the last day, but it's not won or lost. So another competitor, got anxious and caused a
made
caution
the decision.
and then that's what changed it up because that put Reed in second, Adam was in first. So on the restart, it was null and void. But
what happened in 2001? Where was that at?
Beach Ridge, Motor Speedway. Just race.
Just race.
Just protect your race.
So you were making the call. You were calling that race.
Yep.
You didn't even know what happened.
Of course not. I was a young kid watching cars go around in circles, still trying to learn the lay of the land. I wasn't one of you guys. I was kind of an outsider learning how the whole Beach Ridge system worked.
So you were calling a race you had no
I
idea
called what
they were
I
doing.
thought was an incredible race, right? I didn't know any of the backstory until years later.
Yeah.
Which you do.
And you were spotting an incredible race because you won.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh,
you know what's messed up? I remember what happened, but I don't remember that we won. But
and
that's great.
And
I'm happy.
I was just
manipulating.
I was not manipulating.
He was Tom Brady on the Raiders with a headset.
So
wasn't manipulating, but he was
so. What we've always
He's
said.
Tom Brady with a deflated football.
So,
jeez.
So what? No.
And 5 throw pillows.
So in anything, right now, let's take us to racing, okay? In a situation.
Let's go.
All right.
All right.
You're buddies with this guy. You're buddies with this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I need your spot, right? So I'm gonna go up to you and say, "Hey, listen, we need that spot." All right, buddy, take it. So
it's not
you're gonna
hurting
let
their game.
Does that happen?
Well, all the time in
I
racing.
would never let anybody pass me
Yep,
if I was
it
out
happens all the time, right?
Really?
So they let
All
you
the
go,
time.
right?
Okay.
So what happens now? Now Greg's gonna run over to this guy. Hey, buddy, it happens all the time.
I'm not running nowhere.
Well, you ain't running, right? Right? You're gonna send little
He's
Dan, a
sitting
little
there.
Sean, right? Yep. And hey, we need your spot, right? We need those 2 points, right? Does that happen? It happens all the time.
I don't even think they were alive then.
But in the end, not now, not then,
Not
but in
them.
today's society, right? You're in a Taylor car, you're in a Shaw car, you're in a this, so everybody works together, right?
Right.
You listen to it now, so that's what happens. So you can't make the moves too early. You hear it all the time. We can't make the move too early. So at that situation, everybody knew, everybody needed their spots. You can't make the move too early. So David Oliver needed to beat so-and-so by 2 spots.
You can say who it
All
is,
right.
the statute of limitations.
All right,
Okay.
he needed to beat
It's in
Steve.
the NASCAR
He
record
needed
book,
to
dude.
beat,
These people
he
know
needed
where
to
we
beat
live.
Steve Berry by 2 spots.
Yeah.
Right? He was ahead of Steve Berry. Bubba Pelton and Jackie Roussel were in front. So he needed those 2 spots.
Mm-hmm.
We had a situation where we had gotten wrecked earlier in the year by Steve Berry. And the call had been made by Alan Berry to move him in a situation at Beach Ridge. You don't move a guy coming off 2 because there's no place to go. There's a wall.
Right, yeah.
The car was absolutely destroyed. So in my mind, now this is 20 years later, there's no hard feelings, but
No.
in my mind, I had a wrecked race car, so, when I'm going to get somebody or we're going to have a situation, I'm not going to spin you out at the end of a heat race. I'm going to get you when it costs you. We're going to get you when it costs you, not at the end of, we're not going to get you a heat. We're going to get you. So
You're getting an inside look into what Debbie deals with.
Yep.
On a
so,
daily.
So now we have like 5 laps to go, 10 laps to go. I have taken over the radio and said, now I'm spotting. Okay?
Who
So-
was spotting before?
Perv. So God rest his soul.
Yeah, we miss Perv.
Yeah, he wouldn't do
what you
was too
told him to
nervous.
do.
He was too nervous because we weren't pulling over. We weren't giving it to anybody, but we were going to give them the opportunity to succeed. Okay, so I said to David Oliver's spotter at the time, "Listen, he has to be ready when the time presents itself. We're not giving it to anybody, but when the time presents itself, he has to be ready." And with the white flag we came off 4 off the 2-turn, and we were side by side with Jackie Roussel.
Which is pretty hard to do.
Yeah, coming off the backstretch. You were calling it, Andy, and you saw it, and you even said yourself, you didn't know till years later that and we didn't give it to him. But so when they went into the 3-turn, I said to Bubba, give him a groove. So all he did was give him a half a groove. So when David Oliver fired it into the 3-turn, he had to use the speed bumps to go. And you take it from here, track announcer.
Dude, I don't remember.
But you do.
Hold on, I gotta get a microphone that works here.
Take his. Call it.
I don't remember the gosh darn race.
You have to because you.
I remember it being. Hold on. I remember it being a really incredible thing to watch because I had never been a part of that I was not even 25. I couldn't even rent a car, right? So I'm calling this race with these guys that I looked up to and, was becoming friends with. It's the last lap. I have to figure out math.
I was gonna say,
and I'm not very good. This is before electronic scoring and everything. We had, the 3 people next door, Cliffy and Dolly and Darlene, who were writing things down. Dawn. They had the whole thing of scores, right? So I'm trying to balance all of that. We have race control. This is back when you had people on the racetrack, realigning a field. It was just a different world altogether. And I'm a bit overwhelmed. So I can't say that I remember what happened. All I remember is there were cars side by side. It was really, really close. And I would have totally forgotten about that race and the monument that it is if I hadn't had heard the backstory from you about 10 years later. So that's what makes this thing legendary.
But it was a 3-wide finish, and then David ended up second. It was third and fourth was an actual tie. They actually did video, and it was third and they were tied, and the race was over. So there was nothing else anybody could do. There was the 2 spots, and it was over. And it was like everybody was dumbfounded. Nobody what did I just see? I remember you saying, "What did we just witness?" And it wasn't like they pulled over. It wasn't. They literally came off the 4-turn 3 wide. It wasn't like Bubba didn't pull over and knock them out of the way. They didn't stop. They didn't. It was like there was a spot for David to take advantage, and he did. And it was.
Yeah, it was my first year calling those NASCAR races. I had done a bunch of Thursday Thunder, which was, awesome, and it was kind of peak Thursday Thunder right around that time, early 2000s. So I was just kind of going, off the top of my head. I didn't have race monitor. I didn't have a ticker. There was no streaming involved. I mean, it was basically Flintstones time, compared to what we have today. And I also have, my mentor, Andy Cusack, track owner, over my shoulder saying, one of the things that he instilled in me very early was the announcer does not decide the race, right? The race control does, flag person does. However it does, you aren't the guy. So that's what I had booming into my head the whole time. I'm like, I don't know what just happened. I'm just waiting for the people that decided it to decide it. And it was a pretty epic thing. I wonder if it's on YouTube or something.
Yeah,
I'd love to see that race again.
Yeah,
because I don't remember it.
Yeah, and the whole it was just like I said, the whole thing, and it was like we didn't pull over, we didn't stop, we just we gave David Oliver the opportunity that he needed, and in the end, he did it. He fired that thing down into 3, into the speed bumps, and the 3 of them came out of 4 side by side and made it happen. And
Yep. Now people are getting their boxes there, or they will be probably at this time next year, however, when they build that plant. I don't know. We got a great show. Aside from this, it's been a heater already. It's 17 minutes into the hour. At 20 after, we're going to be joined by Bobby Timmons, brand new champion over at the Star Speedway. He is on the other side of these. This is Mainly Motorsports on Seacoast Oldies. Thank you for tuning in tonight.
Retired doesn't mean you're done. If you've still got the drive, Dow Excavating has the wheel. Dow Excavating of Hollis is searching for a part-time CDL driver. You'll drive parts of York and Cumberland counties. Local routes for a family company with local roots. Competitive pay for someone who's put in the miles and enjoying the ride of life. Find more information at DowExcavatingInc.com. That's DowExcavatingInc.com. Dow Excavating is an equal opportunity employer. Getting older doesn't have to feel like it's a constant battle. Rejuvenate Canico offers natural relief, thoughtfully made. just for you. No pills, and you don't have to go through a series of specialists to get the relief you need. Rejuvenate Canico supplies dispensaries with the highest quality handcrafted flower across the Northeast. Connect with Rejuvenate Canico on Facebook and Instagram and stay connected for a new chapter of Rejuvenate. But more on that later. Rejuvenate Canico. Quality, care, consistency.
And now, back to Mainly Motorsports.
You're good.
And we talk about that track that we've grown up with, and we always talk about 9-time Mike Mayetta, 12-time Ralph Kuchak, and but I want to give a shout out to 10-time Quinny Welch out there at White Mountain, huh?
Yeah, he 10 championships. Like, think about that. Like that is a lot of effort and time. You know what I mean?
What's the time frame that he did that?
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. I mean, what's that track been around? 25 years or so?
Yeah.
You know?
White Mountain?
Yeah.
More than that.
Is it 30?
They had a big 25th. We did their trophies and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're probably 31, 32.
Without doing research, we'd have to go back to it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was built shortly after New Hampshire Motor Speedway was built, so early 90s. I would say their first year was like 93.
Was
maybe?
it? Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, so, I mean, and...
Quinny's hard nosed, you know?
Yeah.
He doesn't give up.
Yeah. He'll beat you on the track. He'll wrestle you in the pit area.
Weren't we at White Mountain? There was a big fight a few years ago.
Well, they would not fight, but yeah, they would just, because they get the campground, so they all like to party the night before. They never party the night after. They always party the night before. So, yeah, the Cahoons and the...
Yeah, Quinny's the king of the campground, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's... that facility is, the Averys did a great job with it.
Yeah.
And obviously Chris Machad and his group
I
and
think
organization.
it was one of those things where that was a great handoff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. You always wonder what the next group will be able to do.
Right.
And the Averys did a great job with it, and it was time, and then
there was when you have a great handoff, it works out.
Yeah.
Nice. It's nice to see generations continue to change over the way that they do. And it's also great for generations to win championships, right? We have a multi-generation driver on the phone who is a brand new champion to Star Speedway. We'd like to welcome Bobby Timmons III to Mainly Motorsports. Evening. Let's see if I think we have Bobby here. Let's try it again. Mainly Motorsports, you're on the air. And now we got you. Mainly Motorsports, you're on the air. Take number 3.
Yeah, long-time caller, first-time listener chiming in here.
All right, first-time board op and first-time engineer because nothing is working tonight. Anyway, Bobby, brand new champion. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me, Andy. I really appreciate it. This is cool. Like I told you in the messages, I just started listening to you guys once I figured out it was on Spotify, so cool to be on.
Spotify. What people keep talking about that.
He has no clue.
I don't even know. If it wasn't for needing a email on my phone, I'd still have a Nokia 5150.
So one of the things that I wanted the show to accomplish is, Bobby is one of the stars of Black Flag Podcast. They do an amazing job and really lead the league when it comes to the podcast subset of covering racing. What we try to do is, we have the old school radio show feel. We're on an AM radio station with FM, right? So live broadcast. Yeah, exactly. Live broadcast radio. You can call in on the show. You'll also be able to watch us on YouTube, which we stream every single show. And Greg, if you can just not do that for a second, that would be great. And trying to explain Spotify to Steve. So, and also have it exist as a podcast as well. So whether you listen to us live or you listen to us on demand, you can connect with multiple radio shows throughout the week or podcast shows, content shows in Bobby's case. Now, Greg, we can go back to what you're doing here with the microphone. We appreciate you.
Can you hear me?
No. It's
I'm trying to work on it.
Yeah, you are. But you guys handle this. I mean, Bobby coming off a championship, with the super modified. I love the pictures. Tell me what the celebration night was like.
Well, if you follow me on social media, you realize that I don't really take anything seriously, and everything's kind of a bit. I won the Oxford 250 as a tire changer wearing what is the equivalent of flippers and a T-shirt of a cat smoking a cigarette. So being a little bit of a character on the internet. I had it all kind of planned out that if I had won the championship last year when I won the Star Classic, I got out on the wing and just stood on it. I see sprint car guys do that, and it looks really cool. So I just recently got into golf, as every older white male in their 30s who's single does. So I knew that if I won the championship the other night, I was going to get out on the wing and swing a golf club, and I was lucky enough to do so. So that's what that was all about.
That's awesome. So before we move on, this isn't like Black Flag Podcast, right?
The FCC is paying attention, and my pockets aren't very deep.
He put a post on Facebook earlier, and all I commented was, "You can't swear."
Yeah, it's real radio.
Yeah.
But obviously you won the big block one last year, but this one had to mean so much to you and your dad because the guy you were doing battle with, notoriously Jeffrey Battle, that's the equivalent of the best. You beating the best, it was somebody you had to beat, and that's who you were doing battle with. So to kind of knock him off that perch, it wasn't like he didn't race this year or he didn't compete this year. I mean, you beat the best to win that championship. So to sit on that top perch, you beat the best.
Yeah, they're the equivalent of Chad Knaus and Jimmy Johnson, him and his uncle Richard, in these 350 Supers. I think he'd won 4 in a row and 5 out of the last 6 championships. And then, the other Whitcomb car that Bob Whitcomb owns, Dave Helliwell won a bunch of championships in that. So for as long as I've been racing these 350 Supers, the Whitcomb Battle family has been the guys to beat. And we've been close before. We've won races. We let the 2022 championship slip away from us. But Jeffrey was the better car that year. We just, happened to point him to death and put ourselves in a position to win it, and we weren't good enough. This year, I felt we were the best car all year. I beat him more times than he beat me. It's a short season. It's only 8 races, but it still was a long year. It was a lot of fun. Probably the most fun I've had racing at Star. It was relatively low-key. Didn't seem like there was much drama or bullcrap or that had been happening sometimes, over the years. It was just, I hate to steal this from Beechridge, but we all just raced, and it was probably why that was the most fun.
Good.
Yeah, and sometimes you look back on seasons, Bobby, and we've all been there. We look back and we say we created our own problems. Right?
Yeah, and the famous guy on the internet there, Hot Carl, his saying was "watch your own bobber," and that's all me and my guys do. We don't care what the other guys are doing. Don't really care what the other teams are doing. We got our own agenda and our own game plan, and I got the best group of guys. None of my crew members want to know anything. None of them want the recognition. None of them want to be the smartest guy in the pit area. They all show up to help either my dad or me, and they want to see us succeed, and we all have one common goal in mind. It's a true definition of the word race team,
Well, I mean, one point to this is you can't say I've never won a championship before this year.
Yeah, I started racing cars, legend cars, in 2009. I won a bunch of go-kart championships, but I think we all did, And so to win the big block championship last year was super cool to get the first one out of the way. But this one definitely means more. No offense to the New England Super Modified Series, but we just had the best luck of last year. We had the least amount of mechanical DNFs or most amount of wrecks, and just kind of won based off consistency. There are teams that had better race cars and better, more wins, but we just were there every week. Whereas, like I said, this one I felt like we were the best car all year.
Bobby, you've gone from support role in a super late model, learning under Scott Mulkern in that car for so many years, and then doing well, obviously now a champion in super modified ranks. And so you've been at it for guys like us who are in our upper 40s, lower mid 50s. You're still the young guy, but how old are you now, Bob?
I'm 32 now.
So now you're 32. You've been at it for 14, 15 years. I know that there's some people in your life who look up to you as a race car driver. And can you tell me about what it's like to pass on the information that you've been able to learn in the time that you've been racing?
Yeah, one of the cool things that I did this year that was new to me, that I'd never done before, is my cousin Kevin. He's been my left-hand man since we were little kids. And comes to all my races. And whatever I needed him to do, whether it was go buy a tire or go back home and get my fire suit because I forgot it, he would do anything for me. Well, we got his little boy a go-kart this year. And, we race Bartlett Bridge every week. We went up to Richmond, with Steve and Debbie a few times. I'd worked at go-kart tracks over the years multiple times, but I was just flag man. Didn't really have to mentor or coach a driver like I had to this year with Declan. And it was really cool, different perspective. I had to sometimes put my competitiveness aside to remind myself that he's a 9-year-old kid that's never raced before.
Good for you.
But we had a good time. He picked off a couple wins. One at Bartlett, one at Saco. We went to Richmond the first time out and brought the thing home in a basket and had to rebuild it. So that was good learning experience, what it's like to rip the right front off on a go-kart. But that was really cool. And like I said, something I'd never done. I don't have any kids of my own or anything. So a whole new perspective. And the other night, we raced the last night of the year at Bartlett, and he qualified on the pole. And, I was pretty nervous and kept finding myself wanting to change things on the go-kart. And I finally had to just walk away and say, leave it alone. Which made me understand why my father is the way he is.
That's funny.
But you make reference to that perspective of being on that other side, because it is so different to be able to just take that perspective back. And I was talking to Scott Lamb and Mac Hannon the other day. Mac Hannon races, and he races now with his kid, and Scott Lamb now races with his kid, but he doesn't race. And that's one of the things when we were talking at the go-kart track the other day and talking about a different perspective, like you, very competitive racer, very successful racer. But when you can stand back and watch somebody like Declan, and they're in it, but obviously the success isn't there yet, but they're having a little bit. But you get to watch it through their eyes, and success on their level might be in a different perspective. Just being out there with their friends is a successful day, and then you understanding that, and it's right for you to be able to give back now and see it from a different perspective, and being able to give back. That's very special and very humbling. There's so many people like you, Bobby, that being able to give back like that's a big deal.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's one of the things. I know it sounds super cliche, but you always hear, you want to leave the sport in a better place than you found it. And, multiple avenues, whether it be, the business that me and my dad have here, I've helped racers out or helping other racers out, and even the podcast. Some may say that's leaving racing in a worse spot than we found it, but I'd like to think that overall, I kind of fit that cliche of just trying to make the sport better and leave it in a better place than when I arrived.
Yeah, and you leave the internet a better place, too, because you give us a ton of stuff to read. You've mentioned that you're single, you're 32, and I don't know if you're on the...
kids that you know about.
Well, they would know. They would put them on the Are We Dating the Same Guy website.
Yeah, I was a victim of that page a couple of times, and like I said, I don't take anything.
Repeat offender. Yeah.
I don't take anything seriously. Everything's a bit. Everything's a joke. The internet's not a real place. Those people aren't real. So, and I actually, one of the things that came of the infamous / famous push truck viral video is I now all my social media is monetized, and I get paid, not much, but I get paid for all that stuff. So that's why everything of mine just continues to be a joke, because it puts $60, $80, $100 extra in my wallet at the end of every month.
Yeah,
so.
Not bad.
Get some tire money.
Now,
hey, if a girl's not into racing, is it going to work out with you guys?
I mean, I've tried it every which direction, and we're still unsuccessful. So maybe I'm the problem. But
yes, I'm the problem. I walk around and say that quite a bit.
Now, you have girls in your life, and probably your biggest supporter of anybody is that sister of yours, huh?
Your sister. That last write-up she wrote on Facebook the day of your race, it brought tears to my eyes. She is your biggest fan, and she's correct in everything she wrote.
She's 2 for 2 in making me tear up on championship clinching days, that's for sure. You know, between her and my mother, and I basically can call her my half-sister, step-sister, whatever, Brittany Creamer.
I was going to say, you got Brittany right there, too. Yep.
The three of them, you can find them pretty much anywhere near where they sell alcohol at the local racetrack wearing my merchandise.
Wearing all your gear.
They are truly into what you do.
Yep.
Yeah, and obviously I can't do it without their support. And then with Brittany came the added layer of she was the link between me and Seacoast RV. You know, they've been on board now for 3 years now, and Kenny and Amanda and everybody else over there, you know, they're an awesome company, awesome partner. You know, I wouldn't be able to race what I do, you know, without them. You know, having their support is huge too. So
yeah, and you give back. You're a big supporter of them, and you get the sponsor is you got to give to get, and vice versa. You know, you're a good spokesman, and sometimes you have those bad days. But Kenny also understands, you know, sometimes that bad press can be good press too. You know.
He may have been one of the first people I texted the night I got arrested at Star last year, and his response was, "How much do you need for bail?" So I think he's pretty good with being on either side of the coin there.
Yeah. I've always said that. Hey, if they're talking about me, they're talking about me,
Exactly.
and that's what sometimes me and the conversations Debbie have. You know, when I said, "Hey, they're talking about," you know, she's the other side. You know, I'll take any conversation I am in.
Well, and also like he values you can bring your car there, and you're going to bring in your fans that might not have ever stopped there to shop around. And I mean, it's one of those places when we went there, and he's showing us the little trailer things, and I don't really want one, but that day I did. The day he showed it to me, and you know, and Brittany's showing us around, and you know, so having you go in, you're bringing in different customers.
They didn't show you the little trailers.
no, it wasn't little. But,
Yeah.
but no, I think he values you as much as you value him.
Yeah, you've been a big part of opening his business up to another community out there, the racing community.
And the racing communities are campers.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and then we haven't even touched on your dad, you know, and how big a part of you. And then, you know, and I know you wish your grandfather was still around to, you know, be a part of, and then just sit back, because your grandfather wasn't a big guy to be out in the front of everything, but much like your dad, you know,
isn't
either, you know what I mean? I was looking at a picture the other day, and I'm like, he's not even in this picture that I'm looking at, you know? He's probably back picking the pit stall up or something, you know, but I mean, he's as big a part of anything that goes on in Bobby Timmons Racing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's the brains behind the operation, 100%. And, you know, he's getting a little older, so he's slowing down. So I find myself, you know, doing more of the work, especially on the 350 car. Like, it's kind of got to the point where the big block car is his baby and the 350 is my baby. And, you know, it's funny. I didn't say this on the podcast the other night because I actually just forgot about it, but I meant to, so I'll save it for your show. You know, the other night, last Wednesday night, we wrapped up the crate car, you know, knowing basically we were going into a Super Bowl, you know, title fight, whatever you want to call it. And him and I just sat around just talking, just shooting the
bull.
There it is. Almost did it.
Yeah, thank you.
And, you know, this is a guy that I spend every day, every hour with. You know, I work for him. I go work on his race cars. I drive his race cars. The only time I don't see him is when I'm home sleeping. And him and I just were sitting around talking, and it just like it put everything into perspective of like how much, you know, he means to me, and how much we do this together. You know, I know that there's going to be a day someday where he either can't or doesn't want to do this anymore, and I don't know if I want to do it without him. You know, but it's awesome that. And you're absolutely right. I mean, he did not come out to the Victory Lane celebration on the front stretch. He was putting the spare tires and the spare nose wing in the jack. You know, they make us set up a hot pit at Star, and he was picking all that stuff up. And he eventually did come out. But by then, all the photographers are gone anyway. So, but it means a lot. You know, he's funny. The results on the racetrack really don't matter to him. You know, obviously, he wants to show up there with a winning race car. But if he knows it's a winning race car, he then says, it's up to me. You want to go out there and smash into things and finish ninth? That's up to you. Or you want to go out there and win the race? That's up to you. So probably a little bit different perspective than most kids' fathers have. You know, I certainly, growing up the way he did it, I didn't like, because I was an 8-year-old kid and I wanted to win races and I wanted to get trophies, and I always felt like he kind of held me back. But now that I'm 32, I really respect the way he did it, and he raised me. He didn't care about winning go-kart races or championships. He didn't care about, you know, being the next Kyle Larson or whatever. He wanted to raise a good adult and a good race car driver. And it might have taken 32 years, but I think I'm almost there.
So there's got to be some similarities in Wyndham. I think it stops. Him and Cushman have a lot of the similarities. he holds maybe a lot of the vocalness in, whereas Cushman lets a lot of it fly out, right?
It's funny. Jay's been a huge part of my racing career. He's done a lot for me, which is why I help them guys, not because I like Austin. It's because I owe Jay favors. But the best Jay Cushman story I have, and I love telling this story. I was a rookie in Legend Cars and was dealing with a particular driver. Good guy, terrible race car driver. This guy was a problem. And basically, my dad told me, I got underneath the guy chopped me when we both spun out. And my dad told me that was my fault. And I'm like, what kind of drugs are you on? I was to that guy's door and he chopped me. And Dad said, you got to learn to race around guys like that your whole career without getting your stuff wrecked. And I didn't want to listen to it because I was 15 and my dad don't know nothing. So Jay came into our shop one day and basically reiterated, like, Bud, you're going to race against terrible race car drivers your whole life. Every division has them. You're never going to be immune to them. You need to figure out a way to race around those guys without getting your stuff wrecked. And it made sense to me. That was some of the best advice I've ever gotten as a race car driver. So you fast forward 10 years exactly to a Nelcar Legends race at Wiscasset, and that same exact driver that I had problems with ran into Austin, and Austin flipped down the front stretch.
Wow.
What do you think? Do you think Jay sat Austin down and said, "You got to learn to get around that guy"? No. They allegedly, I think the statute of limitations might be up, but they allegedly, him and another guy that I know very well, who happened to beat me by one spot in the super modified race the other night. Nothing specific. Threw rocks and cones at his car when he came in after the race and tried to fight him. So, Jay, the point in all that story is Jay is a very big say as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, yeah, he wears it on his sleeve. But no, it's you've started at the beginning. You've raced hard. You've worked hard. Like you said, the things that I think people realize is how many people you've helped over the years. Whether it's in the go-kart ranks, the legends, the super modifieds, and competitors, and continue to help. People you're racing against or people you're gonna race against, and your dad and the salt of the earth, whether guys have walked in there with no money and need pipe or, and I'm hoping I'm not helping the business and people now you're gonna line at the door tomorrow, but no, you guys
depends on what kind of pipe they need and which Bobby they go to.
Thank you.
and the Mulkern, the Mulkern, the world of the Mulkerns, you know what I mean? And remember, you were that little kid sitting on top of that toolbox, sitting in at the Oxford 250 that day when the fight happened on the front stretch, right?
Yep. Yeah, we were. Me and Dad were Scott's whole crew, and I believe you and Lux and the rest of your race team weren't very happy with us.
Yeah. No, we didn't touch you though, right?
Oh, good thing there's a little child.
And nobody said anything to my dad. Luxie kind of yelled at him, and Dad just shrugged his shoulders and said, "It's Scott. What do you want to do? What do you want me to do about it?"
Yeah, you guys were all set. Yeah, no, you guys are a wonderful family, and congratulations on the championship. That's a big deal, and I know your dad's probably not going to celebrate at the banquet, but hopefully he goes.
Well, that's right. His mom will, his sister will.
Yeah. Well, hit the table by the bar for Peggy.
Yeah, Peggy. Yeah, she's entertaining to watch too.
Who ran more laps this year, you or your mom?
Yeah.
I did. My mom doesn't go much. She don't go as much as she used to. She tries to go a few times a year. But I did tell my dad. I came into work yesterday and I said, unfortunately, you have to go to the banquet. And he said, why? I said, somebody's going to drive the rest of us home. My dad doesn't drink, but the rest of us do.
So are you retiring the green machine? Are you going to change the panels finally after 2 years being wrapped green?
I think so. That car is pretty used up. We won at Wiscasset this year with the 350 Smack Tour, which was awesome. I love getting up there. That's kind of like a home race, supporting Ken and those guys, get to race up there. And when I came home, there was stuff falling off, broken bolts, bearings worn out, and I'm like, this poor race car needs to be gone through. And, we stripped it down and fixed most of it after the push truck incident, but that's been almost 2 full seasons now. So my plan for the winter is to go through it, all new body. And for those that don't know, Greg and I, mostly Greg, wrapped that car green in the middle of last year because I kept having so much bad luck.
He wanted to change it.
Let's change it up. And the first race And the first race out with it, I got arrested on the front stretch for hitting somebody. So it had one more bad race left in it, because ever since then it's been nothing but awesome. You know, we've now won 5 times with it. You know, a Star Classic, a championship. But I think that might be the end of the line for the green car. You know, it was really cool. It just doesn't match the car that's on all my T-shirts, and I don't want to make everybody buy more T-shirts. So.
Yeah, you do.
No, that's a business move.
You're the biggest seller there is out there.
Yeah, that's a business move. But no, Bobby, we appreciate you joining us. And before you go, this is usually a Greg thing. Why don't you give a shout out? Obviously, you mentioned Kenny Blow and Amanda and Seacoast RV, but I know you got some other supporters on there, and throw a shout out to them on Mainly Motorsports.
Yeah, definitely. You know, shameless plug, Timmons Machine and Fabrication. It's me and Dad's business here in Wyndham. The boys at the Black Flag Podcast, you know, I don't get any money from that deal per se, but just the connections that we've made over the years have opened doors or made opportunities that have helped me, you know, on the track, off the track, that money couldn't put a price on. Scott Martell and Martell Motorsports Restoration. Scott's the man. You know, he's helped me for the last 3 or 4 years now, and he's enjoying retired life. He's basically a full-time racer now. You know, helping me or the Seymours, you know, with what they do. Prime Cut Landscaping, Matt Corbeau, you know, my sister's boyfriend. He's been a great help. You know, they jumped on board this year to help buy some tires and some fuel, and I think that's it. Obviously, Greg, you know, and Night Owl. You know, Greg keeps my helmets looking good every year, because being an open cockpit car, they get beat to crap pretty regularly. You know, I'm usually due for a new wrap about every other season and a half. So,
well, at least you only throw steering wheels, not helmets, so that helps.
Well, the steering wheel, the $139 MPI go-kart wheel is significantly cheaper than the carbon fiber bell helmet.
Yeah, smart.
You're a good businessman. You make good, wise decisions.
About $1,100 cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah, I do make a lot of business decisions.
Well, that's cool, man. Bobby, we appreciate you being on. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day. And
congrats. We should have a championship party at Pat's or something like that.
Yeah.
So you say that. I'm still ironing out some details, but November 14th, it's a Friday night. My aunt's band, Northern Groove, is at Eric's Church in Wyndham.
Oh,
it
nice.
seems like it's all too fitting to have it that night, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
All right, Bobby, thank you for joining the program. Have yourself a great night.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate
Congratulations
it.
to you and the entire family.
Awesome. There is Bobby Timmons, 32 years old, single, but is going to a ton of weddings, I'm sure, because his,
we hear
his
people
friend
are
Dan
engaged.
Winter just got engaged.
Oh, yeah, Dan Winter.
Hey, did you read about that over the weekend?
What a nice guy.
Yeah. I mean,
Somebody
Dan,
else got engaged, too.
Who else?
Well, no, Dan and Nicole.
Dan and
right?
Nicole.
They've been together for a while.
Yeah.
They've been for a while.
They have a
got
child.
a beautiful baby.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Somebody else with a child and got engaged. Who else got engaged?
Tied into Bobby?
I don't know.
Jeez.
We're going to put our heads together to try to figure that out, but we're back on the other side of these. It is
Was it on
Mainly
Facebook?
Motorsports on Seacoast
Was it on the
Oldies.
book?
Getting older doesn't have to feel like it's a constant battle. Rejuvenate Canico offers natural relief, thoughtfully made, just for you. No pills, and you don't have to go through a series of specialists to get the relief you need. Rejuvenate Canico supplies dispensaries with the highest quality handcrafted flour across the Northeast. Connect with Rejuvenate Canico on Facebook and Instagram and stay connected for a new chapter of Rejuvenate. But more on that later. Rejuvenate Canico. Quality, care, consistency. Retired doesn't mean you're done. If you've still got the drive, Dow Excavating has the wheel. Dow Excavating of Hollis is searching for a part-time CDL driver. You'll drive parts of York and Cumberland counties. Local routes for a family company with local roots. Competitive pay for someone who's put in the miles and enjoying the ride of life. Find more information at DowExcavatingInc.com. That's DowExcavatingInc.com. Dow Excavating is an equal opportunity employer.
And now, back to Mainly Motorsports.
We're back, and what a great interview with Bobby
that was a
Timmons.
great interview.
You know what I mean? So happy for his
He's
family
a
and
good dude.
his dad, and like I said, his grandfather, the patriarch of that family and
Yeah.
the super modified. You know, and that open wheel racing's big to that family. You know, and so
You know how he mentioned we wrapped that car. You know how super modified bodies have louvers on them?
yeah.
Yeah, so those are not easy to do. And I was like, oh, I wonder how many louvers are in this hood. And I counted the first row, and there was 33 in the row. And then there was 4 more rows or whatever it was. I was like, I'm not even going to try to figure. I don't need to know that. Like, I was an hour and a half just doing those.
Nice.
All right, so we're gonna
some results.
Some more results. So
well, no, we gotta give Charlie his due too, because Dan walked.
Oh yeah,
we left you hanging. We can't be that much.
We might have been joking, Charles.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Dan and Nicole, and also Charlie and Lindsay. Gonna both get married. I don't know if they're gonna do a twofer.
Maybe should do a duo. Yeah, wait, double wedding. I know we're not getting married. Whatever. So.
Wow, you made that decision already?
I know. He just keeps looking at me, so I'll just.
Maybe he's ready to
you
propose.
Get that too?
Oh, I have the
If you
ring.
just look.
Are you getting married?
I have
No,
the
but you
ring.
look in the right way, then like they just cut you down.
Are you engaged?
Yes, I am.
Are you getting married?
I don't know.
Well,
It's her
what's
decision.
your holdup?
Isn't the whole
It's
idea?
her decision.
What's the difference between being?
Why is it her decision?
I don't know.
So if she went home and if you went home and she said it's time, you'd say okay.
Yeah.
See?
Okay.
Whatever.
I'm the best thing that ever happened to you.
I never said you weren't.
Well, just
I
saying.
told her last.
Who do I got to ask for? Like I asked you to marry me
I know, but that was
on the stage at Wiscasset. Remember?
yeah. So you need to do better. Anyway.
What do you mean I got to do better? They're better than you?
She's cutting you down. You need to do better. You did it on the flag stand. It
Well,
was
who
cast.
What do you
it?
want?
I did it
Beach
laying
on
in
a
bed
flag
one night.
stand.
Leaning bed.
Oh,
What do you want?
Jesus.
What do you want? What do you want from me?
Well, right now I have a really pretty dress and I fit nicely in it. So
She
I'm
would
just
like
saying
a venue,
it's the time.
a band, a first. What would your first dance song be?
I think you should have Lyman McKay get his Justice of the Peace thing and marry you guys.
So here's the
Oh, he
problem.
could.
Before I get to the results,
No,
right?
no, we're not even because it's
No,
just stupid
no.
and classless.
So the problem
No,
is,
it's
no, there's nothing
classless.
classless about me.
We got other
right? We're
people
not
to
going to
talk
have.
about.
We're
We
not
don't
going to
need to talk
have.
about us.
Deb, I'm gonna shut your mic off. I want to hear Steve talk.
I don't want to. I don't want something that's just traditional and all this, right?
Yeah.
I want epic. Like I want that one that everybody talks about. They might not.
You
think
want the LST banquet, basically. Why don't you get married
but
there?
grown up.
No, like over. Like originally, I can say this.
I've been to wedding banquets.
Right. No, I wanted like originally it was. If we're gonna get married, I want to be able to have hookers and strippers
Why? Who wouldn't wants it at a wedding?
at a wedding.
Yeah. Now, see, I
Ridiculous.
wouldn't.
See?
Yeah.
Okay, so that you
Classless.
wouldn't come. So
That's
th-
fine, yeah.
So
Well, I'm
first
not
she
coming.
says,
So-
first she says, well, my family, I can't have my family there. I said, all right, we'll have a lunch and your family can come, and then they can go, and then all our friends will come. Greg would come, right? Would you come to?
No.
So then we said. Then she backed off on the hookers. I said, okay, no hookers. That's that's over
It's
the top.
stupid.
But instead of flower girls, you imagine the strippers coming down the center aisle and doing that? No, that's epic.
Don't
Nice
I deserve
creating
better than
scenarios
that?
are
Right.
never going to happen.
I
realize-
deserve
Is
way
somebody
better.
calling?
No.
Yeah.
Phew.
So
Way
anyway,
better.
yeah.
Anyway.
So that's why it
Trying
ain't
to change the
happening.
subject.
Yeah. So that's
So
why
happy,
it ain't happening.
happy for our friends who got engaged and
Yep.
happy to hear their wedding plans.
Yep.
And I bet they're
So
loving
everybody,
it.
they have a traditional wedding. You go and she comes down in the white dress, and everybody, oh, it's beautiful. Did you see? Oh, the flowers were beautiful. Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, it was beautiful.
I just want a
I
fun
want-
party.
No, let me.
Well, that's
yeah.
not a fun party.
Okay, that's why. Okay.
Anyway,
So anyway.
we're a race car show.
What would your first dance song be?
You know it. What is it?
I don't know. Now you made me
Can't
forget.
remember.
And now with results.
Girls.
Yeah.
And now with results, Steve Perry.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. So, yeah, we wrapped up our regular season championship. Great day. Thank you to all our sponsors from the season and everything. So we raced just about every class. Box stock winner from this past weekend, Jace Pastori. Box stock champion, Jace Pastori. Junior sportsman winner this past weekend, Jace Pastori. Champion, Jace Pastori. And they got big news coming out of their
Yep.
camp. And we're
We'll
going to
have
bring him
have
on the show this
He
winter.
is a good. He's a
They
good
got-
speaker.
Yep.
For a little 9-10-year-old,
Yep.
speaks very well.
Junior Sportsman Champ Division this past weekend. Winner Jace Pastori. The champion, Cole Talon. Little funny story about this little young man. They went to a flea market. What do they call those places? Antique places?
Yeah.
Found a hat from his dad back in the old Pro Truck Series days. The old Phil Bozo, the Clown days.
Phil Bozo.
Clown Day. Remember when he ran that
I
Pro
know
Truck
who you're
Series?
talking about.
Phil Rowe?
Phil Rowe.
A hat of his dad. when his dad had hats when he ran the Brandon Talon.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what the hat he was wearing. He reminded me of
no
Andy
idea.
Austin wearing his old Bruce Elder jacket.
I
That's
love
what he
that
had on
too.
for a hat Sunday. He was wearing that hat, proud as a peacock.
That's
they bought
cool.
it. Yep. So
That was Bob Libby, by the way.
oh, Bob Libby, Bruce Elder, Bob Libby,
The Wins jacket.
one and the same.
I like that.
That's still my most favorite piece of
Yep.
clothing.
She talks about it.
Yeah.
All the time.
I'll have to wear it to the next show.
Yep.
You guys aren't going to see it though.
Oh, no, she can wear a Ricky Craven one.
Oh boy.
I'll
She
bring
won't be
my-
here either.
No.
Yeah, I'm not here next show.
Sportsman division. The winner, Welker Reynolds, champion Welker Reynolds. Senior sportsman, the winner, Parker Doucette, champion Parker Doucette. Senior champ, Nate Fogg joined us late in the year. He's won 2 in a row. Champion, Cody Wilson. Master champ, the pizza delivery boy, Mike Ramsey.
Master.
The champion,
Master.
Mike Ramsey.
Master of pizzas.
Oh, yeah. No, he's looking for pizza.
Cheese.
What?
I was saying how he had to take it easy this weekend because he had
Yeah, he
two
couldn't race the
champions.
lawnmower Saturday. Stood up Bill Obie. Couldn't race the lawnmower at the Cumberland Fair because he had 2 championships.
Freiburg Fair.
The Freiburg Fair. Wing championship. Cody Wilson, the champion, Mike Ramsey, and then the mini cups, Jamie Henderson.
Oh,
Okay.
I got Speedway 95
Yep.
over here. I didn't know you were done, sir. Sorry.
Let it rip, man.
Let's go.
Quick results for Speedway 95. In the street stocks, we had Isaac Rollins. And then in the Ladies Acceleration Tour, which was visiting in town, we had Rhonda Crane. Coca-Cola Company Cage Runners, we had Eric Worcester. Sport 4 was old Trey Brown, Steve's future stepson.
Could be sooner rather than later. She keeps
Main
hopping on this
Outlaw
wedding.
Midget Series, Scott Lane. And then Limiteds was Chris Watson. There's a shocker. And then they had a mechanics race. George Dunn, Chris Foss was second. Andrew Hills from New Hampshire was third.
Got it done.
All right, then
Look at
over to
that.
Bartlett Bridge, their final championship night. In the box stock, Wyatt Colton picked up the win. Axel Burbank was the champion. Junior sportsman, Owen Michaels picked up the win. And Bentley Tarr, which is Butch Buzzell's grandson. There's a name from the past.
Jeez, huh?
The champion. The pro champs, the win went to Andrew McCoo. The championship went to Andrew McCoo. Sportsman division, Camden Doobie was the winner. And Brody Dow.
Champion.
5 years from now, he'll be driving that Dow excavation dump truck.
Yeah. Go to Jow Excavation if you are a senior, retired, and looking for a part-time truck driving job.
The senior sportsman division, Bryce Picard picked up the win, and Carter Burnett picked up the championship. In the wing champ, Cody Bodwell picked up the win, and Noah Jalbert picked up the championship. So,
Is that related to Bobby Bodwell?
I don't think
no,
so.
Cody's
Same family.
They're from
No.
New Hampshire. Yeah.
Okay.
So what? We got Oktoberfest coming up this weekend.
Big weekend
The
over
last
there. The
points
Russ
race
Conway.
for the last points race for
Tell your
Oxford,
friends.
where I'll be. Then the Russ Conway Oktoberfest at Lee,
Yeah.
which is like basically 3 days. They
3
have
days.
practice Friday afternoon.
do they run any races?
Friday? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't have a schedule in front of me, but
I'm pretty sure they do.
I think they run a little bit of stuff on Friday
Maybe.
night.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, 'cause it's
I
three
did it one
full
year, and we
days
ran
of racing.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then they have, Saturday full card and what is it, like 16 divisions total? Sunday,
And Oxford's in action.
Oxford is the final
Makeup.
championship night that they had to keep moving because of rain. But Sunday at Lee is the final Granite State race of the year.
Is it Sunday?
Which pretty much I think he just needs
Probably
to
got
start.
it.
Pretty much
yeah,
to
he's
start
probably
once
got
they
it
head up.
now.
Right,
yeah.
and Cole Roby will
Evan just had
clinch
a
that.
tough
You
one.
One
know?
of our first guests.
So he
Yeah,
went.
no, they race. They got some heat races.
And then the
Friday
Milk
night,
Bowl.
yeah.
And we went to that one year. And
I love
one of the
I love
most,
going up there, especially this time of year.
just the pageantry.
Yeah.
It's classic. Look at you using big boy words. So
Did you
proud.
hear that?
Ooh. She just called him Big Boy.
The pageantry of the. I got to say it again. I was when they came in with
When
the
they came in with their kilts and
their robes and
it's
Did you
not
go
robes,
on, like,
kilts.
sitting in your truck in the parking lot, did you go on Chat GPT or whatever and go, What is a big word for pomp and
He doesn't know
circumstance?
ChatGPT.
This
He
man,
has no idea
gets here
what
at
this
5:15 and sits in his truck until 5:45.
Until I bring his shirt.
Yeah, she brings me a change of clothes. I didn't have an ice cream today because I had LST work to do. I had.
You were at home most of the day.
Yeah, I worked.
My phone.
Do you
is
know
going
what
off the camera.
ChatGPT is?
No.
No, he has no clue.
No.
Those are things he does not need to know about. It's kind of like Instagram. He doesn't need it.
No.
You haven't got an Instagram yet?
No, he's not.
Oh my God.
I'm working on Spotify.
He just learned about
Which
it
is where you'll be able to find this podcast after the show.
Yeah.
in a few minutes.
In a few
Next
minutes.
week, Andy is going to have a new mic, hopefully, or something.
No.
Do we need one, Andy? Let me go get you
maybe
one.
we
It's
need to
not
get a
that.
sponsor
It's
for it.
the fact that I don't know how to hook it up to the. I have to talk to our engineer, but we don't have an in-house engineer. We have one that we use, and I have to get on the phone with him. He's a great dude.
Is he a smart guy?
He's a very smart guy. I might not be the best reception.
Can you
know what I'm
ask?
saying?
Can you ask him a question for me?
Go ahead.
Oh, no.
He's
So
listening.
If you're a fly in the car,
Yes.
and the car's going 60 miles an hour, and you're in the middle of the car, and you're flying with the car, is the fly going 60 miles an hour too? I was thinking that today.
Why would he
Yes.
know this? I'm just gonna say, yeah, good idea.
No.
Ask ChatGPT.
So
that's-
no, because the fly,
Yes.
and then all of a sudden the fly flew to the front window like at the
'Cause
speed
you
of
slowed
light.
Then he
down.
was going
Because he had the draft.
68 miles an hour.
Like
Yeah.
I'm like, is that fly
That's
going?
happened
How
to
come-
you
How
today?
come a fly's flying around there and it's this little thing, and then you roll the window down to suck it out, and it never goes flying out?
It's like irritating me.
Right.
Like Brick and Regina were with me, and it irritated
You
them
tried to
too.
roll the
Well,
window
I
down
saw
and
I'm
throw
like,
them
Regina,
out.
will
guys
you
all
get
go out
that?
to
And I'm
lunch?
like, Regina, will you get that one? It's on me now. I'm like,
If you think that you are insignificant in this life, just lay in bed
After you take all the
after you
pillows
take
off.
all the throw pillows off, just to bring it full circle, and listen to the one mosquito in the room.
yeah.
You will not fall asleep. That one little mosquito
It will
can
be right
ruin your
there.
life if you just
Exactly.
focus in on it.
But see, nothing ruins this because I didn't sleep at all last night.
Are you guys gonna be here
snored
next
and
week?
did-
Yeah,
No.
we gotta wrap this one
We
up.
got
too.
to. Yeah.
So you
we're
guys
good.
aren't going to be here next
We
week.
are not.
So Greg
We
and
are-
myself are going to be here hosting the show, but we need another voice. We need another mic.
Yeah. You know who I think we should invite?
I thought we already figured it out.
Will you
Oh,
stop? All right, we got to have a post show.
Yeah, does
Debbie's
anybody,
done.
like,
Debbie's done.
welcome to my life.
I
Yeah.
got
does
too much
anybody?
on my mind
We're
tonight.
trying to set it up.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
And make
sorry.
it radio
I blew
worthy.
it.
Bobby Timmons
I
would
blew
tee this off perfectly because he's a golf expert now.
Yeah.
But you,
shut up.
we need to
We're gonna see if we can get the announcer from Lee Speedway.
Marco.
That what we
Can
can't-
we get Marco?
We're gonna get Marco. We can't get Marco without Steve being here.
Oh, yeah.
I could call Marco.
Yeah, but
Steve
I want to
doesn't
be
wanna-
here with.
Can we
Steve
get
doesn't
Marco
wanna
next
miss
week?
it.
Well, no, I want to be here with Marco.
Well, too bad. You got life's
took
about
vacation.
decision. If we have the he can.
I
bring him
wasn't
back.
referring to Marco. I was referring to.
Yeah, I like my plan now.
I like your plan too, but
You want to get Lindsay's boyfriend?
yeah,
think you'd do it.
Well, it's her
Why not?
fiance.
yeah, maybe.
Boyfriend, that's right. They
If he
did
can get
engaged.
out-
Did you
They're
hear about
engaged
that?
now. I heard something about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if he can get out of work and find daycare, I don't know how they do it, but
Well, can't eat peanut butter at his daycare. So.
well, he's that. I agree with him on that. That's
Well, no, I
it's-
don't agree.
The world
if you
is
had
ridiculous
a child
now.
that couldn't have
You
it,
ever run into somebody who has a nut allergy? It's
scary.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
awful.
saying that, but like the world stinks now.
Yeah,
That's my
I thought
opinion.
Scarborough ran on Teddy because that's just the upper class peanut butter. It's
That's the only
it's
peanut
Cadillac
butter.
of peanut
Yeah,
butters.
yeah.
Anyway, it's been a great show. Thank you for checking it out live.
It's been a little.
To be continued for next.
He doesn't. He's like, we don't have Teddy. We don't have Teddy. We
What are you
have
talking
Jeff.
You guys, you are Jiff family,
We're
aren't
Jiff.
you? Oh my God! At least you're not Skippy.
No, we're Jeff.
I'll throw it right out the
Better
window with
than
that
a nice
fly.
peanut- Do you
Jeff.
like peanut butter and jelly?
I don't need jelly.
No, it's fluff.
Of
Come
course.
on.
Fluff.
Peanut butter and fluff.
Jeez, I'm crow. Anyway,
Have you ever had toasted peanut butter and fluff?
I don't think so. Have you ever made me that?
Bob, we got to wrap this
We
up.
gotta go.
I know, but it's
Yeah,
fun.
so-
I have to pack.
Steve
We
and
have
Debbie
things
going to be
do.
out for the next week. So we'll be back next Tuesday at 6 o'clock. This
What do
show
you
does
think the
exist
chances
on a
of us going away a
podcast.
week and coming back in a relationship?
And who we're going? No. Okay.
With that said,
Everybody
have
have
a
a
good
great
night.
week. Good night.
We'll talk to you next week on Seacoast Oldies. Good night.
That stuff to me.
WWSF, Sanford.
Seacoast Oldies.
On 104.3 FM and SeacoastOldies.com. From